All right, welcome in Thursday night. How the 49ers can beat the Broncos. And you could be sure that there's going to be a video titled, Will the 49ers beat the Broncos? But this one is how the 49ers can beat the Broncos. And first things first, I know that I was live a little bit earlier. I went to the Steelers bar here in San Francisco, but my camera wasn't working all too well, and I wasn't able to edit on the fly. I wanted to show you the Pittsburgh style sandwiches from Rudy's. There they are. The fries are stuffed inside, so is the coleslaw, and I had copa. That's the meat with the cheese. You can get it at Rudy's. It used to be Giordano Brothers at 16th and Valencia. And then I go pan up and I see some sad Steelers fans. A lot of them had already left by that point, but I figured you guys might want to watch the sandwich one more time. It was some good food. You can go to essentially any football team's bar in San Francisco, a lot of transplants. And the Steelers one serves the same sandwiches that you will find in Pittsburgh. I mean, we could slow-mo this. We could stop it right there. I mean, you could see the meat, the fries, the coleslaw, the cheese, the bread, really good. But in Pittsburgh, I mean, this is an industrial sandwich. It was one that had everything in one spot. So the fries and the coleslaw weren't on the side, so that it would be good for truckers, steel workers, all that good stuff. You get them at Primanti Brothers in Pittsburgh, and you get them at Rudy's in San Francisco on 16th and Valencia. Anyway, how the 49ers can beat the Broncos. Hope everybody is nice and hungry at this point now, and we could start talking about some football here in this quick hitting video. First of all, maybe I should put this up on the screen. The 49ers expectations for Jimmy Garoppolo as he replaces Trey Lance. Now, you could probably bet that Jimmy's going to be one of these keys. But first, I'm going to go to some of the other stuff. We'll save the best for last. Key number one, 49ers need to have a disciplined pass rush. They're facing Russell Wilson, who's 17-4 against them in his career. Russell obviously is elite when it comes to Houdiniacs, when it comes to getting outside the pocket once you think you have him corralled. So the 49ers, who have 31 pressures through 2 games, have to realize that pressure is not everything. Pressure is not enough. It's disciplined pressure, effective pressure that has to get the job done. So they have to rush as a unit. They have to make sure that Wilson doesn't have escape hatches out of the pocket. And if they could keep Russell Wilson contained to the pocket, that will force him to confront his biggest weakness. And that biggest weakness goes back to the end of the Seattle days. Russell doesn't throw over the middle of the field anymore, especially when it means 10 yards or more over the middle of the field. In fact, those parameters, over 10 yards between the numbers, Russell Wilson has only attempted 2 passes this season, and one of them is an interception. So if the 49ers contain Russell Wilson to the pocket with key number 1, then key number 2 means that they force him into one of his weaknesses, because I think the 49ers can cover if they contain Russell Wilson to the pocket on the outside. They've got Charvarius Ward. They have Emmanuel Mosley. More on those 2 guys in a little bit. But it's about the safeties up the middle. Russell doesn't like to throw up the middle of the field. The safeties, Deshaun Gibson and Talanoa Hufanga, have to do their job. They have to make sure the Broncos can't hit any of those seam routes. They have to pick up in a disciplined fashion whatever action does come over the middle. Combine the safeties in tandem with that disciplined pass rush. Russell Wilson is then a short quarterback having to operate from the pocket, and I don't think he sees the field all that well over his offensive line there over the middle of the field. I think that's the issue behind Russell's struggles in that mid-game past the 10-yard mark. So good, solid play from Gibson and Hufanga will go a long way toward winning this game, but that coverage has to work in tandem with the rush. Key number 3, the young Bucks on the 49ers offensive line must neutralize DJ Jones. Everybody knows DJ Jones if you're in 49ers land, right? He was a good player for 5 years for the 49ers. Well, he's actually leading the NFL in ESPN's run-stop win rate for defensive tackles over his first 2 games with the Broncos. So we know that the 49ers offense likes to establish the run. If they don't establish the run, it closes off so much else of what Kyle Shanahan's trying to do. And obviously the big question marks entering this season along the 49ers offensive line were in the middle. Burford, Banks, and Brendel, the law firm, right? Well, those guys have been playing really well, but DJ Jones has been playing really well too. And it'll be an interesting chess match because DJ got to work a lot against like against Aaron Banks. That was a little Freudian slip there. Against Aaron Banks last year. Aaron Banks on scout team, DJ Jones and the 49ers first team defense. So that matchup goes back to the 49ers practice field, and the 49ers are going to need to neutralize DJ Jones, because if you neutralize DJ Jones, we could skip forward to key number 5. You let Jimmy cook. This is funny. This is ironic. It's fitting, whatever you want to call it, because the Seahawks fans always wanted to let Russell cook. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo again spoke on Thursday about wanting to air the ball out, how much he would love that, how much he would love to take some more shots downfield, be aggressive. He's got the arm talent to do it. He obviously did it in week 1, and he made some really, really nice passes early in that outing. I actually was the one that kind of started this conversation in the media with this article, because I talked to Jimmy Garoppolo about it after the game, and then I asked about it in the post-game press conference, and he was remarkably candid and forthright about his desire to bring back 2017, when we saw that kind of organized aggressiveness from Garoppolo, and he pointed out that he didn't really know the playbook as well in 2017. So the inference seems to be that Kyle Shanahan's play calling has wanted to choreograph things into more of a shorter yak-based attack. 49ers obviously have the personnel to do that, but I think they also have the personnel through Jimmy Garoppolo himself to push the ball a little bit further downfield. And I do have an inkling sensation that this is going to be something that is the keys to wins for the 49ers this year. You've got to let them cook, and I think they're going to be good conditions in Denver on Sunday night. It's prime time. I think it's going to be a good time to try to stretch out that defense so that they're not all boxed in close to the line of scrimmage. So if the 49ers can neutralize DJ Jones, that means they could probably run the football in this game. And then if they can run the football, they can diffuse that Denver pass rush. You don't let Bradley Chubb roar around the edge. You don't let Randy Gregory roar around the edge if they're thinking about the run game. And remember, it was Gregory who actually injured Jimmy Garoppolo's shoulder last year. Gregory was with the Cowboys, and that was when the NFC wildcard round of the playoffs. So you let Jimmy attack this Denver defense if you set it up with the run game. That's how the 49ers offense works. And then it's a mutually beneficial thing. If Garoppolo can attack, that also sets up the run game in reverse. So run sets up the pass sets up the run. Symbiotic relationship, 49ers going with that. I know we're rewinding now, but key number 4, Charvarius Ward and Emmanuel Moseley. Up to those two guys to continue to blanket A-list wideouts. Remember, last week we saw it, right, with Emmanuel Moseley against DK Metcalf, all over his film study, breaking on the ball before DK did on that slant pattern. It's like he ran the route for him. Well, Charvarius Ward has history with Cortland Sutton, because Sutton obviously is in the AFC West right now, still with the Broncos. Ward used to be in the AFC West with the Chiefs. They played in a snow game, actually, last year. It's up to Charvarius Ward, especially if we don't see the other half of this equation in Jerry Jeudy, who's been out of practice on Wednesday and Thursday for the Broncos. If we don't see him, you know that Wilson's going to want to go to Cortland Sutton, big 6'4" target. The 49ers cornerbacks are going to have to step up and make it happen on the coverage end of things in this game. All right, that's how the 49ers can beat the Denver Broncos. Just a quick little primer for you guys, and here's a quick little look at the food today. By the way, the Steelers were playing the Cleveland Browns today, so I went to the Pittsburgh bar, and this was Rudy's Pittsburgh-style sandwiches. Everything on the sandwich, including the French fries and the coleslaw. Just wanted to sign off with that. Hopefully you enjoyed it more than the Steelers fans enjoyed today's game. Stay tuned tomorrow. Today was how the 49ers can beat the Broncos. Tomorrow will be, will the 49ers beat the Broncos? And then if I do predict the 49ers to win, then I'll make why the 49ers will beat the Broncos. So you can just tell the content is rolling. We're pumping it out. Make sure to sub to the channel, like the video, do all that good stuff, because I do give you guys the best food recommendations as well. All right, everybody take care. Have a great Thursday night.